and Stanley is standing with his back to this other fighter, and Oliver's like, use your left, and Stanley lifts up his fist out behind him, his left, that's my right arm, his left arm out behind him. Legends, how's it going? We're going to finish off this week with another little Laurel and Hardy review here on Coins Age Media. This is the Battle of the Century, and this one here, it's only 19 minutes long, a silent short from 1927. Stars, of course, Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy, directed by Clyde Brookman, produced by Hal Roach. Who else is on here? Let me just get some names. Noah Young, Eugene Pallett, Charlie Hall, Sam Lafkin, Gene Morgan, Steve Murphy, George B. French, Dick Sutherland, Anita Garvin is in there, Dick Gilbert, and Wilson Benj is in here as well. This one here is not a complete short film. There's a few sequences missing within it on the DVD here. Although, if I recall, there was another version of this film on earlier in the box set as well. A more completed version of it. Yes, this one starts off with Stan being entered into a boxing match. Oliver's his trainer, his manager, and if they win, they're going to get $100, and if they lose, they're only going to get $5, which is a difference of $1,500. Weird little stupid nonsense they got there. Of course, it's a silent film. There's no talking in it. Excuse the noise outside the studio. So this is all written up on the screen. During the fight, and forgive me, I've got no idea who the boxer was. Like his name is in here, obviously, but the listing of names I have here doesn't have the credits as in who they were within the film. But this boxer is a scary looking guy, and Stanley up against him doesn't stand a chance. But it's your typical Laurel and Hardy sort of sequence happening in here within this boxing match. The fighter that Stanley's up against, his glove is loose, and while he's trying to get that tied during the first round by his trainers, Stanley's dancing about the ring waiting to get a hit on, and Oliver's like, use your left, use your left. He's calling out what Stanley should do from the side of the ring, and Stanley is standing with his back to this other fighter, and Oliver's like, use your left, and Stanley lifts up his fist out behind him, his left, that's my right arm, his left arm out behind him, just as the other boxer is rolling in to punch him from behind, and he runs into Stanley's fist and gets knocked unconscious, essentially. Not unconscious, but he's almost there, and he's hanging off the side of the ring, and he's down for the count, and the ref steps on to count him out, and he's like 1, 2, 3, and Stanley keeps walking across and been nosing, looking in close to see what the ref's doing, and the ref stops counting, and he's like, you know what, go down neutral corner, or I'm not going to start counting again. So as soon as Stanley backs off to a certain point, the ref starts counting again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stanley keeps walking across, and the ref keeps stopping, and get away, I'm not going to count to you, get away from him. And Oliver's screaming, get to the corner, get over there, out of the way, sort of thing. But Stanley, being Stanley, is just, not getting it. And eventually, time's up, the bell rings, the other fighter doesn't get counted out, so he gets to round 2. And round 2 happens, Stanley and this fighter getting towards each other, and the guy gives him Stanley one swift punch to the face, and that's it. Game over. Stanley's out cold, and Oliver passes out from he faints from what he's seen. The punch that knocked Stanley out actually made Oliver faint. So when he wakes up, the entire arena is empty. There's only him and Stanley left, and Stanley is still unconscious in the middle of the ring. We cut from that there, and we get a bit of text on the screen that explains the following day this insurance salesman recognises Stanley from the fight the night before and offers an insurance policy to Oliver for Stanley. And the only way this is going to pay out is if Stanley gets injured. So Oliver comes up with the idea that he's going to strategically place a banana peel on the street for Stanley to accidentally fall on, and then he'll claim on the insurance. But before that can happen, a pastry chef walks out of a shop, slips on the banana peel, and yes, he gets up and slams one of his pies into Oliver's face. Oliver retaliates with a pie, fighting. That starts a whole food fight on the side of the street, which leads to probably one of the biggest pie fights in the history of movies. What does it say on here? The film is famous for using over 3,000 cream pies. A low edition of the Guinness Book of Records on film history quotes that as many as 10,000 pies may have been used in the film's climactic pie scene. It is absolutely hilarious. Now, honestly, I can recall seeing a different version of this pie fight within this box set somewhere. What the title of the film is, I'm not sure. It may actually be titled The Battle of the Century. It's been so long since I started this series. There could be an updated version somewhere within this box set. But on this DVD, we have this original sort of, pieced together sort of a thing. The section between the boxing match and the pie fight, where Stan and Ollie get offered the insurance thing, is just, text on the screen, and then it goes to a still picture of Oliver and Stanley with this guy who's obviously selling them the insurance certificate. And at the end of the movie, we go back to the text again, and it explains what happens, how the film finished off. This may just be the original surviving reel that they had for the movie. Like, you're going back to 1927 here. Like, a lot of the original film reels could have been to the point where maybe they couldn't be saved or they were lost at some point. But yes, they were recovered at some point. So that's probably what I'm thinking about. I've probably seen the recovered, revamped version of this movie. But the Battle of the Century is absolutely hilarious. You need to check this one out simply for that pie fight on its own. Like, the boxing match at the start, pretty funny. But that fight in the street, goodness knows how many people ended up in that there. A whole city block at one point in the movie is just, people, just a sea of people and pies flying. Everybody's covered from head to toe in pie. So it is an epic little movie. So that finishes off the Laurel and Hardy DVD 18, I want to say. Let me just check that. No, sorry, this is DVD 19 in the box set. This is finishing it off for the week. Over the weekend, we're going to get into some other reviews, and then Monday morning, bright and early, we'll get back into the next DVD in the box set of Laurel and Hardy. We've only got 2 more to go. I am enjoying the life out of this box set. Check it out.